Hey everyone, this is Tammy here from Fourplex Compound, and today what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a few tricks that I use when I make jewelry using Fourplex. I made this bracelet and I'm going to show you how I do that, and I did the burning technique on it, and all I did was use tape rolls and empty ribbon spool rolls that I cut down, and I spray them and seal them before I glue my Fourplex on it. Then the other thing that I did is I also made earrings and with the fleur-de-lis, and again I used the burn method, and I just put posts on mine because I like to wear posts. So these are really fun, ideal that you can do with just about any mold that you have. You just have to pick what you want. And the other thing I did is I made this piece here, and I'm waiting for the hardware to come to put this on, but I also made like a necklace to go with it too. So just for the holidays, something fun. I've done a lot of Halloween jewelry in the past too. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing that I'm going to show you, you can go ahead and put that.
Nikki says good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, Amber's going to get the molds out of the freezer, and I'm going to show you how to take the molds out, and then I'm going to show you how to put the molds back in. And then I've got one of the bracelets here that I've painted, and I've already done some decoupage. If you've watched me, you've probably seen it. I've done a lot of the decoupage method, and I'm going to show you how you can just burn that back there. So, and then I'm going to fill the molds as well. So what I'm going to show you here, this is IOD mold. And the reason I only casted part of this is because I want it to go in here to finish this off. But what I did is I casted a piece of each end because I want it to match up, okay? So when it comes here, I want it to match in there. And that's why I did this the way I did it. And I want it to be perfect. So, and all you do when you release your molds is you just, yeah, you just go ahead and release it from the sides, and then you can just pop it out like so, okay? And then what you want to do, okay, what you want to do is you want to let this dry for 24 hours. Some molds will take longer, 72 hours. Again, here, I'm going to release it from the sides, like so. Same with this one. Now, these ones, the reason that I did these ones the way I did them is because I wanted you to see how I put the ring in them. See, I put a ring in them so that you can hang them. I don't know, can they see that?
No.
Okay, so that they could be hung. Or you could put earrings. This one here, I put the ring in so that you could do earrings with it if you wanted to. Okay, and you want them, what is that, on a wire, I guess you would say?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I did to make my ring, you could use jump rings if you wanted. What I'm using here is what I had, and I took a 22 gauge, I believe this is 22 gauge. I think I looked at it, yeah. And I just took a paintbrush, as you can tell, an old one. And all I did, because I want it to stay nice and round, I just twisted that.
Mary says, great idea, Tammy.
Yeah, it's really, you guys, that way you don't have to get jump rings. And you might want to use a little heavier wire than 22, so you might go to 20. This is what I had on hand. And then what I did is I just trimmed it, okay, like so. Okay, and we're going to put that right into the Fourplex as we cast it. And that's what I want to show you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some cornstarch, lightly dust the mold.
Go that way a little bit, they can't see you. There you go.
Okay. With some cornstarch. Scoot these over so I don't bump them. And
Tracy says, hi, Tammy.
hello. So glad that you could join us today. And then I always roll mine into snake-like position because the main thing is you want to make sure that you keep this all one consecutive piece. You don't have to. I'm just trying to show you how you can make the best castings possible, okay? Then what I do is I kind of pick my center point and I just lay that jump ring right down in there, and I keep turning it till I get it right where I want it. And then I kind of push it in. Can you see that? And then I go back.
Hang on, guys. I'm going to pick this up and show you.
I'm going to go back over it, okay? And I want to keep that right up even to the top without pushing it all the way through to the front. And then that's how simple it is. I just go right back in and fill my mold up. Okay. And then I take my card. My hands are really wet. And I'm just going to flatten that back out really good, like so. Make sure that that jump ring is in there tight, or that ring that you just made with your wire. And then you can take and clean off anything that you have on the back to keep this nice and flat like this. Whoops, I dropped it. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. It's ready to go. And then if you have anything up here, when it comes out, you can just clean that right off. And your jump ring will be right centered, right where you want it. And you can do the same thing. I did the same thing here, as you can see with the fleur-de-lis. I just centered it, and you can see where I have a little bit of shadow, and I'll clean that up a little bit. And then go ahead and pop it in the freezer. Okay, then this one, I'm only doing this because there's a lot of new people and they're not really sure. A lot of people say, can you show us how you use Formflex? So I'm going to show you. You always want to start with a clean mold. And you want to lightly dust. When these come right out of the freezer, they have condensation buildup. So it's better if you have a dry mold. And just lightly brush it with cornstarch.
There you go.
Okay.
Sally says, hi, Tammy. Love all your ideas.
Thanks for joining us today. Hope you guys all had a great long weekend. It was kind of nice for that extra day off. And then today, it's like you have to play catch up with everything, right? Okay, then again, I'm just going to take my Formflex. I'm going to warm it up in my hands. Okay, I'm going to roll it in a snake-like position. Boy, I was really messy with that.
You're being rough.
I know, I think I got a little carried away here. Usually, this is what happens when they're wet. You want to, when you take your molds out of the fridge, you want to let them set just for like...
Goodness, you were shaking everything.
A couple minutes. Okay. Then just go ahead and push it in like so. You guys, really, it does help. And I always push and I pinch, okay? It's the hardest thing to try and explain how to do this if you've never done it. Push and pinch. I pinch and then I push it down. And if you can keep it to where you don't have a lot to clean up afterwards, your castings will be so nice. And Formflex is really pliable, so it's not hard to work with. I've worked with a lot of other clays, and they're much stiffer, and so people don't realize how easy it is to work with Formflex. And then just go through and flatten that back with your card. Okay, just like that. And then you can take your card at a 45-degree angle and clean it up. I prefer to use a palette knife and just run it right along there, clean it right up. Or some people will just take and use their thumbs and clean it up, or their fingers. But it's just that simple. Okay, and I guess the main thing is you always want to make sure, whether you're using a card or a palette knife, that it's clean. Okay. And I'm just pushing that down and making sure I got everything filled. And I've got stuff on my card. You can see it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but you can see that's what's leaving the impression on it. That's what happens when you don't use a clean card. That's why you want to make sure your card's clean. Okay, there you go. Pop it in the freezer. You guys, you don't have to pop that into the freezer. You could actually, if you put a little more cornstarch in them, you can pull them right out. You can use them right away. You can use your castings as soon as you feel comfortable that you won't dent them. Okay, as soon as they come out. That's a question that people ask a lot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you, because I've done so many videos on doing the decoupage, and I'm just going to show you how I do it here. It's simple. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's no great science to it. I just take a napkin. It was these napkins right here. I believe these came from Walmart. I'm pretty sure that's where they came from. And when you open them up, you got a couple of different designs on them. And I'm doing this one since I did stars and stripes on that one. I'm going to do just stars on this one here so that I can use it. This is dry. Formflex stays flexible. You can bend it long after it's done. I put it on here because it's easier to work with. Because when you do decoupage, if you decoupage it flat like this, what's going to happen is that decoupage that isn't going to give. Yeah. And it won't be the Formflex that cracks. What it will be is your napkin, your decoupage.
Deborah says, hello.
Hello. Thanks for joining us today. Okay, so what I'm going to do...
You can't see, guys. She's cutting out the stars, the piece that she wants off the napkin. I'm just going to
cut off a piece. And I did have a little square here. The smaller amount that you can cut so you don't have to deal with so much, the better off you are. You know, there's no need in making it hard on yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this little square out. This was just a piece of napkin that I laid in there and kind of messed with my hands with it. And I have no idea what is all over my fingers, other than I can think I've been working with rust stuff. Rusting some Formflex, and I'm thinking that I can't get my hands clean. I don't know why. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the layers. So I think you can separate them prior to, or you can separate them afterwards. Usually it's pretty darn easy. These napkins separate really easy, except for when you're doing a live. Okay.
Yeah, throw that piece away.
Yeah. Where is it? That one. Then all I did is, because I had spray painted this black and I didn't think about it, I went in with some white chalk paint and painted my circles. I'm trying to see which one you could see better. Probably this one.
That one, yeah.
So, okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in here, and I am using a fine line, just a small brush, only because I want to get all the way down into the crack. Okay. Now, if you did this when I made the bracelet, I actually did the decoupage first, and I hand painted the bracelet. This bracelet, I just spray painted with black.
So Lynn says, "Hi Tammy, I absolutely love this stuff. It's a foolproof product. I tell everyone about it, even some of the crafters I follow."
Oh, thank you. Hey, you guys, you know what? I don't ever say this, but if you use Formflex, I do go on all the time to other pages and see who says something about it. And I have a certain amount of Formflex, since we don't have a advertising budget. I do give out complimentary packages of Formflex.
Chris says, "Hello Tammy, so happy to catch you live."
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you're here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to lay that on there, and then I'm going to take a soft brush and I'm going to push it in. It takes a second for the napkin to kind of grab it and absorb it, but see how lightly I'm pouncing so that I don't rip through the napkin? Because I don't want to start out pouncing real hard. In fact, that's a little bit hard of a brush. Here's a little softer brush. When you first start pushing it in there, you want to use a soft brush, okay? You don't want to use some real hard bristle brush, or you're going to rip your napkin. And on this one, I don't wet the napkin. A lot of times I'll spray mist everything that I decoupage, because I was a paper hanger for years, and it has to size and it does shrink. And so by lightly misting everything, you'll never get any shrinkage out of it. But there you go. See how you can see how smooth that is? I mean, you don't got any wrinkles. Just want to make sure that you give it a time to saturate into that corner. And there's not, this is actually in the napkin right there where it looks like you see white. That's part of the napkin. It's like a distressed area. Okay. So just go in like so. Push it into the crack. And then, oh crap, I smushed this one.
Is that your hand on it?
Yeah. Okay, see there? Okay, so now what I'm going to show you,
I was just going to put it right up here so they can see.
Okay, so this one here is the one that's dry. And what I do is, I don't need this anymore. I'm just going to cut this back as close as I can. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the burn technique on it. I want to smush
She says, "I need to go back and watch your tutorials. I am scared to do it live. LOL. What are you afraid of?"
Afraid to do what live? Afraid of how to do it live? You guys, if there's anything I can ever help you with, let me know. Man, and I get the whole live thing. I'm not in...
Lives are your favorite thing in the world to do.
Yeah, lives are not my favorite thing. Okay, be sure that, you know, you're safe and you have a cup of water and all that. Okay, and see how I'm just going to light that on fire. And I'm going to burn right around that. And if you can't get it super close, this should burn a little bit closer than that. Yeah,
she says, "I can't ever get them to come out of the mold correctly." So are you flipping it over and allowing gravity to...
Well, and it all depends on what kind of a mold. If you go back and watch the start of this, some you want to use gravity with, some you want to... most of the time, I will tell you what people don't do is they don't release the sides, and that's the reason you can't get it out.
Margie says, "Just received my Formflex in the mail. So happy you are making the bracelet. Want this to be my first project." Okay,
so, oh, good. That's great. Okay, so what you would do is you could decoupage over it now, or, you know, you could... I didn't put decoupage over this prior to burning it, only because of doing this live and I wanted it to be dry. So you could put, and I'll tell you the reason I'm not going to put a coat of decoupage on it right now, because I want to show you the waxes, okay? And if you've never used wax, you guys, this is like, this just takes it from ordinary to extraordinary. Okay, the first one I'm going to use is, what's this one? You want to look at the name? Okay.
She says, so I for sure don't want to demo to all of my friends and not do your product justice.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So this is the Stamperia Serantica.
What is the color, though? Is there a color on that? There should be.
Is it on the lid, maybe?
It's kind of a graphite, I believe.
Metallic black.
Okay. So I'm putting that on there first. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of change. But now I'm going to use the silver. And you guys, you could even cut these little knobs out and put Swarovski crystals in it. That's actually what I was going to do. And it really turns out nice. I did it a long time ago on one of these. But see how that silver, you could use gold.
Debbie says, thank you for spreading the blessings.
Oh. Thank you so much for being here. See there? See how that just, by waxing that, and it's so simple. Let this wax dry and just take and buff it. Just with I usually have an old t-shirt, and I would let that dry a little bit, and then I would just take and buff it, and that is not going to come off. The one thing about the wax is that you better make sure you're putting it where you want it, because
Chris says,
you're not going to get it off.
Chris says, Tammy, I am putting this here so I don't forget. Is it possible for you to message me? They have been asking me to demo.
Who's that?
Chris Hunter. Go ahead and send us a message,
sure.
Chris, and we'd be happy to, reply and help you with whatever we can.
Absolutely. So anyway, if this was dry, you want to buff it, okay? See, you don't want to buff it right away. You want to let it dry just a little bit, and you would have that. You can also, if you want two-tone, you can go in. Yeah, I'd love to help anybody out that wants help to demo. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of gold here. And you guys, if you're familiar, you could use your liquid leaf too if you want. You could add bronze to it. You could do all different kinds of things.
This, you guys, is another Serantica.
Yeah.
Stamperia Oro Metallico is what it's called.
But you could go in, I would probably add some bronze, some brass to this as well. And like I said, the reason I decided to do this, but see, you can get it that two-tone too. And if you took and cut these out with just an X-Acto knife, you could take I already put some Swarovski crystals in here. You can just slice this right out. Should I do it?
No.
I don't know if I want. Yeah, I don't really want crystals in this one. But you can just...
Sally says, do you put this on a form or do you just glue the ends of the bracelet together?
No, okay. What these are, see...
It's just an empty tape roll. They can't see that. Here, you guys.
Yeah, and this one, you guys, is actually probably would fit most people's wrist, okay? But it feels big. Yeah, so the reason what I did this time is I'm actually doing, this is empty ribbon spool, okay? This is just an empty ribbon spool here. It's a little bit smaller.
Yesterday's Tomorrow says, hi, Tammy. It's so beautiful.
But see, this is why I told you that I wanted to do just part of a casting to finish that off.
There you
see
go.
there? I want to do part of a casting. I don't want the whole thing casted. That's what I did. And so that was the reason that I did that. Okay. And then the earrings are basically the same, done the exact same way. You can, all I did was cut 2 different pieces on those. Let me see if I can burn this one yet. It should be dry. It's kind of doing everything backwards here, you guys.
Yesterday's Tomorrow says, I love it.
Yeah, it's really fun, you guys. Cut it back. Again, I always say, cut it back as close as you can. Just so you don't have as much to burn. That's the only reason. If you want, you can burn tons, but it's so fun to be able to use different things. Okay, and then
I'm trying to help you squeeze it.
yeah, I'm just gonna. And if I can't get it close enough, I'll keep lighting it on fire till I get it where I want it. See there? See how it, can you see that? How it burns right into the crevice? That's what I'm trying to show you. And I know right now, if you guys follow Deb Riggs, everybody's been doing LV. And these would make a beautiful LV.
You want me to get one of your LVs from out there?
Oh,
no, you have one right back here.
I do?
Yeah, isn't that what this is?
No, it's a teeny one. That's one of the pieces. This is going to go on top of a suitcase. And I do all this in gold. You guys, I have 50 million projects I'm working on. But no, there's one out there in gold.
Yesterday's tomorrow says, be careful, LOL.
Yeah, and then just...
Do you want me to grab it?
If you can find it right off the bat. Yeah, there's one that's already painted. And already I'm working on suitcases and the LV coffee cups and all different kinds of stuff. Just fun stuff. So then I just go ahead and put my Mod Podge over the top. I would seal this after I was completely done waxing it and everything. And you don't need a really thick coat of Mod Podge. Sometimes people get carried away with that. But you can see as soon as that dries, that will dry clear. I'm not so crazy about this one having the gold on it. I think I like it more with just the silver, but that's okay. I'll just go over it.
I can't find the gold one, but I found this one.
Oh, yeah, that one's not even painted. But, yeah, I've been working on those, like I said, to do a suitcase and some coffee cups and stuff. So let's say you don't like the gold. Just go right back over it. I think a bronze two-tone would be better. I think the gold...
Deborah says, that is beautiful. I have got to place an order.
You guys, this stuff, it's so fun. You should see the amount of earrings and stuff I've made with this. But you can see. And like I said, FormFlex cuts so easy. Okay, so here's a dry piece. This is a casting that I don't even know. It's been done for a long time. So let's...
Deb's new again. Time to order.
Yeah, good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this about, it looks like from here, I need about half of this. And I just, you guys, I literally just spray paint my, my ring, this ring right here. I just use spray paint and then I put a clear coat over it. So I just had Amber cut this for me before we came live. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. I'm hoping that this is going to match up. There's no exact science to it matching up. So this is how easy FormFlex cuts. Okay, I'm going to show you. Sometimes you have a really hard time cutting stuff. I just got to put something under it so I don't cut through the table.
What?
I know. And I'm going to cut it a little bit long on purpose. I had you put away the X-Acto knife.
No, it's right here.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, this is, I've got the X-Acto knife. You should, when you're cutting through this, or like right here, you could just do this in one cut if you use the Alpha knife. But what I want to do is, see here, I want to cut this ring out right here. And like I said, this piece has already got, I think I had something else planned for this piece because I can already tell. I have like a white spray on it, a white flat. So obviously it was for another part of another project and then I didn't use it. But what's nice about FormFlex is you can make up your castings forever and then use them. See, so there you go. And I can cut that. I'm trying to cut it so that you guys can see it. You can trim it, right?
Move in closer for you guys.
See how I'm trimming that? Right up to where I want it. Yep. And then, if I had a nail file in here, say you got I do right here. Say if you had a rough part, if this was rough, which it's really not, but if this was rough, you can take a nail file and you can just file it. Okay, no problem. And then let's hope, because I really didn't measure this, and you can cheat it by squeezing and pushing and all that with FormFlex. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you can kind of like
fake it to make it.
Yeah, squeeze it when you put it in there. And that's, you know, just lay that down like, I know that doesn't look very, I mean, it looks good, but you can see what I did. Okay. Can you see that there? Yeah. So those will come together once I glue that down. And this is what I'm talking about when you bend. You just want to make sure that your paint is also flexible. Okay. This has got white, some kind of a white base. I would think that it's probably a white flat spray paint. But anyway, that shows you how easy you can cut it. It shows you how you can wax them. There's nothing to be afraid of, because there's nothing that's wrong, okay? There's nothing that you can do that would be wrong. The earrings are the funnest, you guys, to make Halloween earrings and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, if you do follow Deb Riggs, they've all been doing LV stuff. You could do hearts and put LV and do some stenciling on it. You could do all different kinds of things. But these here, this is a wet casting. This is the one that I took out right at, but see, you could see how that would work for earrings. Don't take a close up of my ears. My ears are torn in half. So, from working.
I was just showing that you were having it up to your ear.
But in this one, I think would be really pretty too. Something that you could do. So, there you go. You got a bracelet, you got earrings. Doesn't have to be these particular molds. Use your imagination. Come up with what you like. You can cut rhinestones into it. You guys, the possibilities are endless. You could go all the way around here with rhinestones. It just depends on how much glitz and glamour you want to do. But what a great gift idea. Everybody, you know, I mean, even at Christmas time, to make this set, and they would have it forever for 4th of July or whatever patriotic holidays. That's what makes it fun, because you can come up with unique ideas. And the only thing that you're limited to is your imagination. I think this one will be really fun here.
Shirley says, you're amazing.
You guys don't feel so amazing, but thank you. This would be a really fun piece. You can paint this. I've made several of these, all done with just silver or
Marjorie says, do you glue the ends together?
Yeah. You glue the ends together. You mean, she means like I cut this extra piece to go in here to finish it up. Yeah, I'll just glue that. And I'll use the Gorilla Glue. And I'll paint this too.
Galen says, good afternoon. What are you making? I'm curious. What's your name?
My name is Tammy. I'm from FormFlex Compound, and I was making a bracelet, pendant, and some earrings.
Debbie asks if you could use resin on it. Yes, you can. We've made a tray with resin on it with the FormFlex.
You can pour right over the top of FormFlex.
Shirley says, where can I get these molds? So we have all different molds from Amazon, IOD, Prima.
Yeah, this one right here, if you watch the beginning, this is an IOD mold, okay? These are IOD molds. This is a redesigned by Prima, okay? And you can get them, the IOD you cannot buy on Amazon.
Michelle says, can I see the back of the earrings?
Yeah, the back of the earrings are not finished. Okay, there's nothing special. You should paint the backs, but I didn't paint the backs. Actually, what I would do is I would paint the back black. That's all I'd do. And if you wanted to do it this way, to put them on a wire, these are the ones I just took out of the freezer. Here's the back of the one that I just got done doing. That's still, it's really, see? So there you go. That's the one where I put the wire in. If you wanted to put wires on it, you could. You could use this for a necklace too. Just depends on what you want. If you want to glue a post on or not.
What kind of glue did you use? She normally uses the Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
Or the Stick Fast. Or the Tight Bond.
On the back of these ones, I did. I just used the Stick Fast on these ones because I was doing it quick.
Yeah.
And then I just rubbed them with the silver. But you could rub them with gold, you know, and I did the exact same thing that I did here with the napkin on there. And then just rubbed them. And that was so that it went with this particular set here. Okay? So, you guys, if you ever have any questions, be sure and let us know. Again, thank you for watching. There's a whole bunch of different things. One thing that you might consider, and if I get enough time, what I'd love to show you how to do is to use tins with this, making jewelry with using tin bases. You know, just cans that you cut up, the old tin cans and stuff, and you can use those as your bracelet forms and earring backs and all that, and add the form flex to it. So just let your imagination run wild. Have fun with it. There's no wrong or right way. And again, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
And if you haven't, follow us on Facebook at Formflex Compound or Formflex Compound Creations, where you can share all of your
creative ideas.
Yep.
Yep. And we're really easy to get a hold of. If you ever have a question, you can message us, you can email us. It's all the information is there. If you can't figure out how to do something, you guys go on our business page, and under the video section, there is every kind of video there, and they're very, very short. That's the one thing I did. It may be just casting, it may be just releasing, it may be everything. It's kind of just real short and fast, so you can get it and you don't get bored with it. Okay? All right. Have a great day, you guys, and thanks again for joining us.